We're here because Aruba pulled together the whole continent with PAHO, World Health Organization, FAO, different other organizations, including the International Olympic Committee, different ministers from the islands and Latin America. Canada was there, CDC US was there, the Obama team was there, and together we signed the call to action for childhood obesity, and that is a prevention protocol. That prevention protocol will be included in the UN Millennium Goals under NCDs, and I will be presenting it and presenting our position for the Dutch Kingdom, so including Holland and the islands at the UN summit. It's amazing because it's a Aruba declaration which will live on a lot of years, as you know. It is something that we started, we originated, and with a lot of effort we were able to pull together as a very small island. And it started out in PAHO. PAHO was our main partner in this, and so we're very proud to be able to contribute to the whole continent. In Aruba, all the work is also starting for prevention and you know, following this that we've come up with. And I think the rest of the world will also look at it and hopefully follow it. We have developed also a new guide for healthy living. So instead of the plateau or the plates or the pyramids, this is a sailboat. And this sailboat we've animated so that it'll be an educational tool for kids that actually comes to life, and they play with it and they play in it and have physical activity while they're doing it. And this, we're positioning it in a platform to be able to go on cell phones as an app, or in the computer as gaming, or as an educational tool for schools, in trying to mass disseminate the information on living healthy in our continent, where we're dealing with a lot of illiteracy, we're dealing with developmental countries in development, we're dealing with very diverse cultural mixes. So I think all in all, we've put together a road, all the participants together, it's 22, that we started on and we're going to continue on. And for Aruba, being such a small island, it's a very exciting step in kind of the world field. And this is one of the, I think, main points, being at the UN and presenting for the Netherlands. We're looking for action. We're not looking just for papers. We're not looking for stories. We're looking for a set of actions that we can adapt, that we can follow. You know, we have put together from Brazil to Colombia to Canada, all proven methods for prevention. And we've said these are the best that we've seen work, and really formatted it in a way where countries can duplicate these and move forward and really get an impact on NCDs and use it to kind of, you know, catch most NCDs with one swipe. And that's because they all are related to each other, they're not separate. Someone with diabetes will also have heart disease, probably will also be obese or overweight. So these kind of hang together, they're grouping together. We have an aging population, and so we really approach it in a what works, call to action way. I think starting to implement in legislation, so making new framework, really changing the environment around the vulnerable parts of your population, and starting to talk across borders. And borders, I mean internally. So where you have agriculture, you have media talking with healthcare, you have education talking with healthcare, you have, you know, the economy, trade, all of them forming part of changing that environment around the mother and child, changing the environment around the most vulnerable people of our population, also looking at import, export of goods, and all the legislation around that, so that we protect our own people, investing in our own people. And I think that, so we have a big job ahead of us, and it really, for the first time, brings together people that have normally not sat together. So the stakeholders are very diverse. And actually, when you look at it in changing the environment, healthcare plays a much smaller role than we used to think. Healthcare brings in the information, shows the direction, is the compass, but the ones that will do the work are going to be infrastructure, education, trade, all the non-usual suspects. I think so, and it was very important. One of the most important things that Aruba did at PAHO was to take NCDs and say obesity and overweight needs to have its own platform. It cannot be included in NCDs, and this is why obesity and overweight brings all these partners together. NCDs will not. Why? Because when you hear NCDs, chronic diseases, non-transmittable, all these partners feel that they need to be doctors to be able to understand the language and understand what's being talked about. But when you talk about obesity and overweight, everyone can come to the table. So creating its own platform, it creates a more powerful means to attract financing, attract partners, and attract movement forward. And at the same time, those same calls to action apply to the NCDs. But now you have two platforms that are building parallel to each other and become more powerful than when they are actually together.